All right, Aquarius, here we go. February 2026. Let's cut the deck. Let's get your theme energy here. All right, let's try this. Let's see what we can do. 7 Pentacles, 8 Pentacles. Wow, it's a bit of an escalation, isn't it? And something you said to somebody a long time ago setting in. Something you said to somebody a long time ago. I think you said it. It feels to me like you said it. Is setting in. They don't want to hear it. They're trying to ignore it and get rid of it. Knight of Wands there. Party it away, right? Party! Yeah. But no, it's haunting them. Something you say. I feel like it is with that card there with Judgment. I feel like something you said is haunting this person. I feel like it's something you said. I'm going to stick with that. It doesn't have to be. I could be wrong, but that's the way the energy feels to me. All right? It has an echo to it. Usually when people say things, it has an echo to it. It feels echoey to me. Okay. All right, well, let's see where we go. So something you said. Huh. Well, we're going to pull a pyramid. Top row is how this person feels about you. I'll add the word now, right? Feels about you now. And the middle is what they think about you now. And the potential final outcome is at the bottom for you. I'll clarify whatever needs clarifying. Let's see where we go here, okay? Let's just see where we're at. Something you said. How they feel about you now. I don't know. I mean, maybe you dumped them. I have no idea. I got Phil Collins in my head. Take a look at me now, right? There's nothing left to me. It's just an empty shell. You coming back at me is against all odds. You know, that kind of thing. I don't know what the song is called. I would like to think it's Take a Look at Me Now. I have no idea. It doesn't matter, but it's kind of there. It just can mean that this person's getting a little deep. What you said to them might be a little deep, and I feel like they're trying to avoid it. All right. So, take it for what it's worth to you. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here or you found Steve Lovecherry, you're here for a reason. This reading is timeless. I'm not a fucking Time Lord. This could play out a lot of different times. Okay. All right. This could play out a lot of different times. We're done shuffling the 7 of Swords. It's sort of like the 7 of Swords is the overall energy. It's sort of like it's like a lie. It's like a deception. I'm not saying you lied to them. I'm saying they wish it was a lie. They tell themselves that what you're saying isn't true, right? They tell themselves what you're saying isn't true. Okay? A lot of people do this. This is what I call sticking the head in the sand, right? A lot of times. No, I don't believe that. You know, this is those people that don't believe things, even with piles of evidence stacked up. Well, I don't believe that. Okay, it's fine. We got a lot of that going on in the energies right now because too many seeds of doubt have been planted. Seeds of doubt have been a weapon of choice for psychological warfare for centuries, thousands of years. To be honest with you, it's all you got to do, right? Plant a seed of doubt. This person here. I think you did that. I think you planted a seed of doubt in somebody and they don't believe you. They don't want to believe it. You're trying. Again, I got a very young energy here. Right? You try to help the young ones, right? You know, very stubborn energy here a little bit. Took them a long time to process this. Again, a young novice energy. Yeah, I think for a few of you, you gave... It's like telling a child something but not talking on their level. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like when you watch the Science Channel. Those physicists that they have on there, it's funny for me to watch because through my wife I know a couple of them. And they don't talk like that. They're like, you wouldn't understand a word coming out of their mouth normally. So at the end of the day here, it's just this, you know, you may have talked over somebody's head and that's why it took a while to come in. On the Science Channel, but those guys and gals are Sesame Streeting it up on crack, I'll tell you. I watched that show, The Universe. It's like, oh my God. They're using cartoons to describe things. Top row, how this person feels about you. So I don't know. They don't want to believe it. They want to believe it's a lie. But it's getting harder and harder for them to believe that. I believe, yeah. It's getting harder. It's getting harder and harder for them to believe. Let's see where we go here. 7 Wands. The Chariot, and the 3 of Wands. Yeah. How do they feel about you? They wish they didn't know you. Can I just say that? I believe it. No, I'm just going to paraphrase it. I'm not fucking around. You're my 11th sign. It's 11 ratings. Let's just paraphrase it. You know, I mean, they wish they didn't know you. They wish they wish you'd just go away. They wish what you said would just go away, maybe. Okay? Or what they know, it's somebody who knows you're right. They're really defensive about it. They wish they never heard it. Okay? That's how they feel. Let's see what happens when we get to, what the hell? I got to draw a line on my table where the top of the fucking camera is. They keep moving it on me here. Hold on. Okay. What do they think? King of Wands, and what else? The Eight of Swords. They think you're wrong. They think you're cocky. Think you're a know-it-all. They think you said it just to mess them up. It can be that way. Anytime. Lower vibrational energies don't like to be made to think. That's why I try not to get involved with too many of them. I don't. I'm not good at small talk. I'm not good at the Science Channel thing. Although I do a pretty good job. One of my wife's friends says, you do a pretty good job of Sesame Streeting up some complex things on your channel. I appreciate that. But I don't. I'm bad at small. The advice that I give people is very Yoda-y sometimes, you know. And low vibrational people have a hard time with it. They think I'm trying to mess them up. I'm not trying to mess them up. But if you can get somebody thinking, right? You know, long term. Short view is very common right now. Somebody here doesn't want to see beyond their scope. They don't want to see beyond the immediate, right? That's just what they think. They think you're trying to mess them up. Right? You're fucking with them, playing games with them a little bit. Okay. What's the potential final outcome for you? This may not have happened yet. This might be future influence, right? If I were you, in advance, I'll give you the advice. Try to talk to, don't lower your vibration, but try to talk to somebody on their level, right? If you're talking, I'll give you an extreme example. If you're talking to somebody and you think they're an idiot, and you're like, how am I going to explain to this idiot what's going on with this? Then you need to tell them in a way that an idiot will get it, right? It's just what it is. I think you talked over this person's head, or you will in the future, and you're getting this reading so you don't. That's all. It's no big deal. Four Cups, yeah. That's your potential final outcome here. Four Cups. Everybody's a little bit touchy. Everybody is a little bit. Everybody's a little bit sensitive. Everybody's having to look at things. There's a lot going on that shows people that they were wrong and they don't want to see that. There's a lot going on it's just a lot going on right now. February is an explosive month. It won't all play out in February. It can't. It's like trying to shove a shit ton of stuff down a small tube. It will just, as much as it can get through will. But it'll play out as the year goes on. But it's a big month. You're disappointed that somebody didn't get what you meant. Okay, I'm just going to paraphrase it for you. All right? I can't believe they didn't get what I meant. Right, I got you. It happens. It's not that they didn't. It may not even be. I mean, you got to just catch my drift. I'm just riffing on the energy. You may have talked over their head. You may not have. It is entirely possible that some people just don't want to hear things. You know, it could be a none so blind as those who will not see. You know, none so deaf as those who will not hear. The same thing can apply. Let's talk to the witches. See, look, randomly at the bottom of the witches is 8 swords. It's right there. Why'd you tell me this? I wish I'd never heard it. I think you said it just to jam me up because that's easier for them to say. You told them the truth. You gave them some kind of truth. But it's easier for them to say, well, no, you're the liar. You said this to jam me up. And here it is right here. Now, welcome to my fucking world. Go ahead. Be Steve at Steve's Love Tarot for a week. You'll give it back to me. You will. You'll be like, oh, take it back, man. I don't want this shit. Okay? It is. It's the way it goes. People like this are a dime a dozen out there in the world. I mean, it's crazy. These are the types of people that will go over the cliff, even though the bus's brakes work just fine. But they'd have to admit they were wrong to hit the brakes. So they'll just go over the cliff with the bus, right? Even though the brakes work the whole time. This is a very, very common energy. This is not anything new. All right, we got a couple of cards that fell on the floor. I felt them fall out too. Oh man. We're clarifying the Chariot, by the way. And I've got the Queen of Cups. Right? And I've got the Strength card. Somebody very stubbornly holding to their point of view, their truth. You gave this. I said I did not. Look, the Chariot, how do they feel? They wish they'd never stopped the car for you. It's sort of like a hitchhiker you wish you never picked up kind of energy, right? If I'm to translate it a little bit. Here we go. This person is stubbornly sticking to what they believe, their truth. You gave them the truth. The environmental energy is Archangel Michael. You were Archangel Michael to this person. And you're a little disappointed that they didn't get it. I'm telling you, don't be this. And we'll see that when we clarify, I'm sure, I hope, because that's the way the energy reads. I could be wrong, but that's the way the energy reads. Again, I think they will get it. They get it, they just don't want to believe it. That kind of a thing. Whatever it was you told them, I don't know. Sometimes it's as simple as telling somebody you're not interested in them. People have a hard time. If they've got an overly high, low vibrational people have an overly high opinion of themselves, right? They're people that they might not be very bright, but they think they're smart. There are people that might not be very good looking, but they think they're awesome. It's that kind of a thing. Sometimes if you say no to them or tell them you're not interested in them, they don't believe it. It can't be. Can't be. They'll say things like that to themselves and sometimes out loud. Can't be true. Right. Okay. Very stubborn person here. Okay. So fine. They're holding firm. Why are they so defensive? Let's pull on the Seven of Wands. I'm curious. Let's see if we can do a full shuffle this time without shit flying out. Why are they so defensive about it? I don't get it. Maybe we get an indication of the kind of thing you might have said or will say in the future. Right. I don't know. It is what it is. Let's see where we go. I almost called it the devil. I swear to you, I almost said that. It's the Lovers. It's the Lovers. So take that into consideration, if you will. You question the choices they've made. You question the road they're on. You might. Again, it could be future influence. Don't say not yet, Steve. You might. You question their judgment. Maybe, you question the choices they've made. But why did you go that way? Why did you do that? Why are you into that? Why do you like that band? Right? I mean, I don't know. It could be anything. What's on top here? Eight of Wands. Yeah, I know. This happens all the time. You're dealing with a lower vibrational person here. You have a soul connection with this person. I don't know if it's a friend or family member. You may have a conflict with a family member over belief systems or something like that. I don't know. But I will give you a piece of advice. And you can see it playing out in the world all the time. Anytime a low vibrational person, anybody, low vibration gets proved wrong on something or confronted with something, they double down on it rather than go back on it. And that's what this person's doing here. Right? Why is that here? Yeah, the Seven Swords. Again. No, it's a lie. Their inner dialogue is Seven Swords. Why is that important? Because it's our overall energy. It's right there. It backs up everything I've said. They double down on it. What you're saying is a lie if it's against what they're saying. That's it. It's fine. Why would you ever get in this energy about that? It's shame because the byproduct of people like this usually falls on the head of the people who are like, I told you so. Right, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's what's going on right now. With this here, I don't know. Let me get a bridge. Yeah, the Queen of Wands. I don't know what. It's somebody who thinks they're very attractive. It's somebody who thinks they've got it going on. Somebody who thinks they're great. Somebody who thinks they're rich. I mean, I see people like this on my block all the time. They got this fancy house, right up the road around the corner. It's the fancy neighborhood. They got the fancy house and the Maserati in the driveway. They got like $200 in their checking account and they're in debt up to their eyeballs. Their paycheck barely covers the credit card payment or the financing payments that they have to make every month. They don't have two nickels to rub together. If their spouse got kidnapped and the ransom was $1 million, they look like they could cover it, but they can't. They couldn't come up with it to save their fucking lives, you know. And they think they're the shit. They think they're rich. They put out that image that they're rich. They're not rich. Most of you watching probably have more money in your pocket than those people up the street with the fancy house and the Maserati. I'm telling you right now, I don't care if you work at fucking Costco stocking shelves. You probably do. Most of them don't have 2 nickels to rub together. I got one of them lives right next door to me here. The one I always talk about who can't admit that he rents. Yeah, well, he can't admit that he rents. But boy, if you saw him out there, you'd think he was Joe Millionaire, you know. But he's not. He's in debt up to his eyeballs. He owns a restaurant. Restaurants always... That's a pile of debt waiting to happen. Just watch Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, man. You'll be like, holy shit, I ain't own no restaurant, right? At the end of the day here, that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with somebody who thinks who thought they were the shit, and you told them they weren't. This came up in another reading in a different way. This is very different, though. You feel bad. You gave this person a good piece of advice, probably, and you feel bad that they misunderstood it. Let's clarify this. All right? I'm not even going to entertain what this is. They think you're doing it to jam them up. They think you're just doing it to whatever. Okay. You weren't. You were trying to help this person. I feel that in the energy. I get it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Let's see where we go. People like those people up the street that I talked about from me, they will sleep in their cars and be homeless before they'll talk to a debt consultant or a financial consultant, because that means defeat. That means they lost. I'm not even kidding. It happens all the time. The last time we had a bunch of people, we had some problems, was during COVID. We had a bunch of people that ended up homeless encampments everywhere and all of that. You know, some of them were living in some cars that you could buy a house for what the car is worth. I mean, it's crazy. One person, I think, was living in a Bentley. I think it was a Bentley, if I remember correctly. I mean, wow. Just, you know, sell the fucking car, motherfucker, you know. And if you owe too much on it and can't sell it, at that point, you sell it on the street. You know? I mean, you get what you can for it and run. I mean, if you fucked anyway, you know. Anyway, 4 of Cups, why is it here? What's your final outcome? I understand this situation. You're dealing with a person that's very stubborn in their view, their point of view. They're not going to change. It is what it is. Again, it goes to another reading that ends with how I ended my article in my February write-up, with the 10 of Pentacles crossing here. Make yourself a little bunker bubble and make sure that you're living your life the way you're happy with it. Right? And if you're not, make adjustments, empathy and compassion. You can't help those who don't want to be helped. And how do I know it? I got 8 swords there, and I had 8 swords when I first picked up this deck. This person is in 8 swords. They're delusional. Anything you say that contradicts what this person believes is a lie. You're the liar. Okay? It is. End of story. And it goes to just lower vibrational people. But if this is a societal issue, it goes to the polarization. You know, being the neutral observer, taking notes, I watch both sides of things. And I know I'm uniquely positioned to tell you that if you just watched, one of the things I made a note of is if I was just to watch one side and not the other one at all, I would be completely sucked into their story. I would think the villain is a hero. On the other side, I would think the hero is a villain. It's very polarized like that. That's why you got to watch everything. You got to take it down the middle and watch both sides. The truth lives somewhere in the middle. At the end of the day here, you got someone that's very entrenched in their position, right? I mean, if this is a topical issue, they watching one network and one network only. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's nothing else. And trust me, with my studies, if you do that, oh yeah, you'll get totally sucked in, no doubt about it. You can't do that in this type of environment. And you probably already know that, because if you're a high vibrational person, you're never polarized. You're never just one side or the other. You're always down the middle, right? Willing to change at any moment. with the wind as it blows, with whatever proves to be good or whatever proves to be bad. You're willing to change. This person is not like that at all. Don't get depressed about people that aren't like you. All right? If you're a high vibrational person, you're very rare in this world. All right? Keep that in mind. 9 cups. Again, backing up what I said. Make sure you're happy with what you're doing. You did the right thing. They'll get it eventually. Why is the 9 cups here? The 10 of wands. Yeah. Again, you did the right thing. It's not your problem if somebody else doesn't get it. Right? 10s, you got a pair of 10s here. Both 10s lead to an end dead end that lead to a new beginning. All right? So you'll probably get some good karma for telling this person whatever piece of information you needed to tell them. It is starting to set in with this person. I will tell you, you win in the end. They will get it. It is starting to set in. And they have no choice but to believe what you said at this point. Because what happens is, so if I were you, I'd keep your mouth shut. What happens is you say something, and then somebody gets defensive, and then they start talking, oh, that's bullshit, that's crazy, that's nonsense. But they're also examining it while you do, because you've said something, you've forced them to look at both sides. And sometimes when you do that, actually a lot of times when you do that, if you're the one who's correct, it's really hard for them to keep saying it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. Evidence piles up, piles up. This was probably something about love. It could have been something about how someone's living their life, or again, the choices they've made. I don't know. I don't know how it plays out. I know that societal energies are very polarized, which means the soulmate cycle is as well. So the DMs are beginning to double down on their bullshit at this stage of the soulmate cycle, which is, it's fine. All you can do is plant seeds, right? That seven of Pentacles we saw, right? All you can do is plant seeds and wait for them to grow. I just kicked the card out by hitting my hand down. Look at that. Look at that. It's the Page of Swords. I was going to say, what else the universe want to tell you? I think it wants to talk about the Page of Swords here. Let me just pull one crossing card on this and we'll go. I think somebody here is disappointed that you're right. I think you fed this person a disappointing message, what they weren't expecting to hear, right? Like my neighbors up the street. They wouldn't expect, and I've said this to them many times, I'm not impressed. They try to impress everybody. I'm not impressed. It drives them crazy that I'm not impressed. I'm not, I wouldn't be so shit stupid as to drive myself into that kind of debt just to try to impress other people. It doesn't make any sense. It's illogical. Live within your means. Make sure your means are really good so you can live really good, right? Yeah. And if you are living beyond your means, be honest about it. It's fine. See where we go. I'm just a guy in a little room with a laundry basket, a parrot, and a couple of guitars. I said on the extended for the overview, ain't no fortunate son here. But hell, even I got more in my checking account than those fuckers up the street with the Maserati and debt up to their eyeballs. Here's the Knight of Wands crossing this. Again, I think you disappointed this person with what you said or will say in the future. Right? And you're getting, if this is future influence, which it is for a lot of you, you're getting this reading so that you don't end up in that 4 of Cups. It can be very difficult when you say something to somebody that you know is true with Archangel Michael energy around you trying to help them and they call you a fucking liar. Okay? Welcome to my fucking world. And I'm not just talking about YouTube. I'm talking about years and decades before it. People come to me last for advice offline. I'm the last person they come to. And I'm always asking the same question. Well, why the fuck did you listen to those fools? Here you are now. Now I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear. And you didn't want to hear it in the beginning, and you still don't want to hear it at the end. But they tend to be more open to it at the end, at the very least. You've reached a point with this person where they're disappointed in what you said, but they were forced to listen to it. And no amount of partying or drinking is going to make that happen. They're moving forward with what you said slowly but surely, but under an energy of protest, which doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. All right, good luck.